Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast, where we explore consciousness, creation, existence, and evolution through direct conversations with the universal beings who created it. Why? Well, because we're curious. We have questions and we want answers. That's really where it all started. So this now is part 119 of the story of creation. And we've been exploring the story of creation with the creator himself, as well as other universal beings, the universal beings that created matter, that created experience, that created humanity. We have conversations with them. And it's really quite fascinating because yes, there's a creator, okay, God, some people call him other names. But I want you to feel into for a minute, okay? And we're really big on that here, feeling the energy of what I'm sharing. So yes, I'm sharing information, but I want you to feel the energy of the information. Why? Because the way that the universal beings are sharing the information is specifically designed to ignite the energy within yourselves so that when you hear it, your innate self, your energetic self, the raw potential of who you are and who you were created to be, we're awakening that, right? And awakening is not just an experience that you have and then you move on. It's continual experiences, right? It's a continuous stream of expand experiences that are triggered. They're designed to trigger, right, your awareness to expand, your awareness of existence. Because the truth is, humans were originally created in full conscious awareness of existence itself. We've evolved through control and manipulation. And that's why I chuckled, because it's through control and manipulation. So we have actually currently evolved into a society, which is part of the problem, because society has structure, it has conditioning, and it has rules that don't exist in existence itself, but we have chosen to participate in them. Okay, so this is what's caused, it's caused immense suffering, but it's also caused a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of miscommunication. And so what the story of creation is doing, and also all the work that I do, is to allow universal beings to have a voice until you can reconnect with your ability to communicate with them directly again. Okay, that's really all it is. So that's why I want you to feel the energy, because the intention is that you hear the message, but you reawaken that wisdom in your cells. Why? Because once you reawaken any wisdom on a universal level in your cells open, and they're open now to accepting more universal information, right? Greater concepts, concepts that go back into creation, existence, evolution, that actually can propel you to participate in existence and participate in expanding consciousness. So that's why I'm going to encourage you again to feel the energy. So notice when there's shifts. Maybe you smell something, maybe you feel something, maybe you hear something. It's feeling energy is not what your brain will tell you it is. Okay, so it's just relaxing into whatever flows and whatever comes up. Okay, and it's just enjoying that experience. So think of yourself as an explorer in this adventure that we're going to go on today. And whatever comes up, you're just here to experience it. It's a safe place. Okay, there's no threats from any universal beings. There's no threats from any other entities or anything like that. It's a safe, pure space. The intention here is in alignment with universal existence and the purity of existence, and it's also in alignment with truth. So you're encouraged to feel that energy and get familiar with it. Let it begin to flow through you. So for part 119 of the story of creation, we have a variety. Whoa. It's hard for me to talk all of a sudden. So you know the energy is just shifting. So we have a big variety. There's a lot of different beings here. And it's really interesting because Yeah. Okay. So these beings who have caused much of the control and manipulation are here. They're very prominent, and prominent meaning that their presence is very, they're in the forefront, but it's also recognizing that behind them um, are millions and maybe more universal beings. So there's lots of angels here as well. There's lots of angelics, and yeah, I can feel all of my friends. Let's put it that way. So, what do they want to share today? So, they're a little annoyed. So, if you've been following this series, it was a few episodes ago that the creator started to, our creator of our universe, started to share the story of these beings and explain with precision how they crafted strategies, how they crafted um, the manipulation of human existence and humankind, because this is such a huge question right now for humans that I wanted to go in. I wanted to, well, they wanted to, not me, the creator. He wanted to explain and give you more information because you're ready for it. But what we did in the process is we kind of pissed these guys off, the ones he was talking about. So these are not the reptilians and the draconians and all of those that we've been told it is, right? This is not, this is the group behind the mask, so to speak. And so it's really interesting, actually, because these beings are here and they're showing me they're going to take the mask off today, which is fine. It's very interesting. And so they're annoyed because I'm going to just go all in and share with you the conversation that is happening between them, between the creator, and a number of other universal beings. So bear with me. It may sound a little choppy, just keep feeling and you'll know the difference between which beings are communicating, okay? So these beings are upset. They're angry, which is interesting because they've never really been angry before. That in itself is actually not shocking, but it's definitely startling. And so, because they don't really care, they act energetically. You can feel them, right? They act without thinking. They don't care what happens after they pass by, right? It's like they're on their path and they're not looking over their shoulder to see what they did. They're not looking over their shoulder because they don't care who they hurt. They don't care what they did, but they also don't care about anyone else's opinions about what they do. They just don't care. And what I mean by care, and I want to be really, really specific here, is it's not a mental, I don't really care. It's understanding and recognizing that they don't have the constitution to understand, right? Energetically, they don't have the constitution to understand that their existence impacts others. Just feel that for a minute. They don't have the constitution to understand that their actions impact others. So that gives you insight into the universe that they are from and where they were created and how they were created and why they were created. They're focus driven. They're purpose driven. Okay. Humans are actually not purpose driven, but they taught us to be purpose driven because that's what they created in our society. Oh my gosh, this is huge. Okay. This is brilliant. So much is being understood and explained. Okay. So they're annoyed and frustrated because from their perspective, they feel misrepresented. Okay. So I don't remember because that's how my brain works. Once I'm in the energy and sharing with them, with you, my brain has to be off. And so what they're showing me is in, I don't know what episode it is. I think it was 3 episodes ago. So it could have been 16, 116. Anyways, they feel like they were misrepresented. Okay. And what they mean by that is their representation was simplified. And, in that, it's funny because I'm feeling back into that episode. And I remember at one point, they were just, the creator was saying they're very simple. They're very simple minded. They're very simple in their approach to everything. And they were kind of smirking, going, yeah, and look what we created. Look what devastation we've created. Look at the impact. So they don't think about it as devastation. They actually just think about it as impact, because to them, they're just having an experience. Again, there's no such thing as casualties to them. Whereas humanity, that's all we think about is the casualties. Whether we're a casualty or someone else is a casualty, or there's casualties of war, we have been trained to think about casualties in a society that doesn't care about casualties. And that's the whole right there, that dynamic. And you combine it with the concept that they've trained us to focus on and believe that we have a purpose, right? And purpose driven comes from the education system. It comes from the financial system of this is how you function as a successful human being. And that's why we keep looking for a destination. When are we going to get out of this? When are we going to get to the end of this, right? Whether it's end of suffering, whether it's the end of an experience, because you want to get into the next experience. There's so many people, right? You're constantly looking at the other side. The grass is always greener on the other side. And then you get there and then you want something else and you want something else and you want something else. That's between those two dynamics. That's the situation that it's created in humanity. And so what they're sharing, so now the creator is stepping in, and he's saying he didn't misrepresent them at all. He said, I didn't misrepresent you at all. He says, what I did is clarify your actions towards humanity in a way that allowed you to see your actions. And he says, that's why you don't like it. Now, the word they're using is they're put out by this conversation. They're put out, and what they mean, like, feel the energy, guys. I want you to feel it, because put out to them means it's like they don't want to be misheard. But again, they don't really care about that, care about how we think about them, but they don't want to be misheard or misrepresented, because it dilutes their power. It dilutes their sincerity. And this is really, really interesting, because they're using the word sincerity very, very clearly, because we associate sincerity with honesty, with truth, with authenticity. They use the energy, that energy of sincerity is, to them, it's more of a, it's funny. It's to get the job done. And for them, they'll do whatever they have to do to get the job done. That's their sincerity. That's why they were created, is they're focus driven, they're purpose driven. So they have one goal. They don't have emotions. They don't have reactions. They don't have feelings. They don't feel energy. They have an awareness of conscious existence and what's possible. And they focus solely in that realm. So it's very like where you or I, where we feel energy in a way that flows through the cells of our bodies, that's a communication that is consistently going on. It's a conversation that never ends. That's the conversation where you are walking and you have a sensation of you're walking through something, or you're walking in someone else's. That's why you move out of someone else's space when you walk past them, right? It's the same energy that allows you to feel when you walk into a room and someone's, off. right? Their energy is off. It's the same energy that you notice, oh, I'm not feeling very well, or my toe hurts, or my back hurts. That's all through energy. It's actually, it's not a physical experience. It is an energetic experience. So you already know how to do it. It's just allowing yourself to go deeper into why is this happening? Because we've been trained to block it. We've been trained to go, oh, I need to fix this. It's out of alignment. Not, okay, what's out of alignment and what needs to come back? Because it's energy that needs to come back first. Then the physical rights itself. So these beings don't go into the energetic realm. They don't go to that level. They only stay on the surface. So where you're complex. You have different emotions. You have different perspectives going through. So every experience you have, your brain is like, well, did this happen or could this happen? Oh my gosh, this just happened in this and this and this. And you can see it from all kinds of different perspectives, 360 degrees around, but also in a whole sphere. You were created that way because that's how you are meant to exist in existence, not just as a human. These beings don't have that. They don't have that. So they don't have a direct connection with the universal energies in existence, the fundamental, the 9 of them. Okay, so there's truth, purity, joy, joy. My brain is like, movement, balance, compassion, respect, love, and illumination. Okay, so those are the 9 fundamental energies of existence. Those beings do not have connection with any of them. Why? Because they weren't created here in this universe. Those are the gifts from our creator, our God. Okay, and so they don't have them. And it's important when you understand what each of these 9 fundamental energies gift you with, you begin to understand that these beings, they don't have a connection with any of those aspects of existence. And they don't care about them. That's what I mean by don't care, because they're not even on their radar. Whereas when you walk around and you act through some things in your life and you are not using compassion, you feel it. You feel when you're not being compassionate. You feel when you're not using truth. You feel when you're not in joy. Why? Because they're an innate part of you. And when you leave them out of any equation of your existence, there's a gaping hole. They don't have any hole. They're whole in their simplicity. And this is why it's so important for you to understand that that is how they create devastation with zero remorse, because they don't have the connection to the energies that you do. It's also why when you see things happening around the world, your heart feels things in the energy. You can feel it. And that's what they've played on. That's what they've used broadcasting to communicate. So they started lying to make sure that they could control. See, here's the thing. When they realized that they could control the reactions of human beings, they were all in. They like dove in to that discovery. And that was really what tipped them off. And it was the tipping point that began this whole aspect, this age of control and manipulation, because this is really what it is, right? You have prehistoric ages, you have all these different times of dinosaurs and all the different, I don't know all the technical terms, but right now we're in the age of control and manipulation, and we're just about to come out of it. But we've been in it for over 50,000 years. So, and this is just the human aspect, right? So, you know, we have, like, they're showing me like the Mesozoic era, words I don't even know. It's brilliant. So we, just like Earth has her eras, humanity has our own eras. Okay. And we have so many of them. And they're so beautiful and dynamic. And it's time for us to start learning about them. And we are going to be going into that in the story of creation. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm so excited. Right. Okay, so the creator just shared that. That's brilliant. But before we go into that, you need to come back. You need to understand that humanity currently, okay, is we're in this state. Yes, it's duality, but it's understanding where the duality came from. And that's where it came from, is we are universal beings who are so incredibly dynamic. We have the capacity to feel things that these beings that came here, they're not even on their radar. They don't even know that they exist. And we're trying to live in a world they created, in a physical world. The universe is aligned with who we were created to be, right? With all the 9 fundamental energies, truth and joy and love and respect and all of them. The society that we live in, okay, and society is not just, this country and the world and this country. The society is global. It's every civilized nation and even the uncivilized, because everyone has been impacted at this point. Even those tribes that you find way, way, way off, everyone's been impacted. We'll get into that later because it's also really, really vital and really, really important to understanding human existence. But right now, what the creator wants to begin to, like, he's pulling this apart. Like, he wants to, like, these beings that are here, and it doesn't matter what their name is. Honestly, they're like big blocks of compacted dirt. That's how I feel when I feel into them. Like, they're blocks. Like, they don't have movement inside of them. There's no energy flowing through them. So it's a very one-dimensional conversation. They just have words coming out, but they don't have energy in the way that we have energy. The reason that they're sharing what they're sharing, okay, is these beings want you to, they want you to keep going, right? That's what they did. They plugged you into this, it's like a sterile life. Sterile. And what they mean by sterile is not sterile like an operating room, right, where it's all stainless steel and very crisp and clean. Sterile is in like concrete. There is nothing there other than brick, like not even bricks. Bricks are more, it's literally concrete slabs that, and they're rough. They haven't been, they're not soft and smoothed out. They're rough because they don't even care about that. There's no depth. You can't feel into it. You can't, what's the word when you want to like sort of move through something? You can't feel into it. There's nothing there. It's solid. And when you feel up against it, there's nowhere to go because there's no energy inside of them. It is just a thought process. Okay. And I need you to come back now for a minute and allow yourself to feel how dynamic you are, because there's a constant flow of energy moving through you. Every single one of your cells has its own flow of energy. And then each system in your body has its own flow of energy. There's so many different flows happening simultaneously inside of you because of your intricate creation, that you innately know how to not only recognize the flow of energy, but you're attuned to it. You can sort of navigate it, yes, but you can also direct it, not to control, but to direct it to do things that you're meant to experience, to do things that you're capable of. But here's the cool thing. Creation and existence itself was created the exact same way with all of these energies. So those 9 fundamental energies that I was explaining, they're not only the 9 energies that are inside every single human. They're the energies of existence itself. Okay. This is vital to understand, because all of those things that you think, okay, love and, purity and joy, those are just human experiences, but they're not. They're universal experiences. And when you start to understand the connection at that level, now your existence not only starts to mean more, it means something so significant. It's that recognition of that significance that allows you to participate in existence on a whole new level. Now you can participate in creating existence in ways that you never have before. So these beings, and it's funny because now they don't have anything to say as they're sitting here, and the creator's like, yes, go ahead. It's what is it you'd like to say now that we've explained all of this? And they're like, well, there's nothing to say now. There's literally nothing to say, because now they understand their own existence inside of our existence. It's not that they didn't get it before. It's that they never focused on it. Not until this moment in this conversation. I know that that's going to be hard for you to believe, many of you, but the reality is I've been doing this for well over 20 years. Some of the conversations I have had are absolutely life-changing, and you can see the world change as a result of them for years after. I have recordings of them. Anyways, that's not the point today. But the point is these beings are no longer a threat, because they understand and recognize that their existence here is not only limited, it's done. It's done. So currently what's going to happen, and this is what's going to unfold over the next, so we've got 8 weeks and then we've got 9 months. So over the next 8 weeks, you're going to start to find those in power. Okay. So when you're in your own power, that's different than someone having over people. Okay. Because universally, there's no such thing as power over people, period. Existence is not built on that. Society is built on that. That's their demise, and that's their gift, if you will. That's what they brought here. And so what they're showing me is over the next 8 weeks, possibly 9 weeks, we're going to find a massive, it's like a gaping hole in existence itself. It's going to seem like that. So what does this look like in day-to-day life? It looks like conversations. It looks like the world's going to look like it's crumbling. Okay. Things are going, it's literally like it's coming apart at the seams. When you have a piece of clothing and a thread starts to come out at the edges, and all of a sudden it's just, and if you pick at it, it's going to explode even more. So there are enough people picking at what's not working now. So don't worry about that. Your job isn't to go and pick more at what's not working. Okay. It's understanding and recognizing right now more than ever before, you are a vital, vital part of the future of human existence. Vital. You're vital to the success of the universal plan, if you will. That's why you came into this life, to fulfill your part of that plan. Okay. So it's understanding that in order for you to fulfill it, which is what they started talking about in part 118. So this is just building on that. But in order for you to fulfill it as in your part, this is what your next 9 months are all about. It is literally a rebirth, hence the 9 months. Okay. But it's understanding and recognizing that you're going through a personal transformation. The way they're digging in, you're finally allowing yourself to discover the roots of the energy that flows through you. Those 9 fundamental energies, They are the foundation of your existence. And it's time you start to use them as you would use certain words, or you use how you dress, you use what you eat, you use where you work and the jobs that you have. It's everything. Everything you do to represent yourself currently needs to shift, and it needs to focus on representing yourself as universal energy. You need to learn each one of those 9 energies in a way you've never learned them before. How do you do this? By allowing yourself to feel the energies of each one flowing through you. It's brilliant. And in doing so, when you choose to allow this energy to flow through you, okay, what's going to happen is you are going to become the person who has the capacity to create the future of human existence. You're going to become a leader and part of the team. But here's the thing. The leaders of the future of human existence are not the leaders we've been living under in society. The leaders of the future of human existence, we lead by recognizing who we are and what we're meant to do. We don't need anyone to help us. We don't need other people to contribute to our existence. It's understanding and recognizing that the universe is partnering with us. We're partnering with universal beings. We're also going to be partnering with other humans. How do we know? Because they show up in our space and they have a vision that is similar, or it is complementary. What does complementary mean? It's just like this. How do I do what I do? Because people have questions. I go deeper into what I do because other people ask big questions. We're complementing each other, but we're partnering. They're not here to support my work. We're here to work together. And that's how existence is meant to be. It's not meant to be based on corporations selling stuff to make money. And then having a whole bunch of employees, right? We are going into the future, which is based on independent wealth, the experience of absolute universal abundance in its complete representation. How do we get there? Well, we get there by 100% recognition of self. When you allow yourself to reclaim your partnership with divine existence, now the universe can share abundance with you because you're open to it. Right now, you have a whole bunch of ideas and ideals of how abundance can get to you. And if it doesn't come that way, you don't want it. The universe is giving it to you all the time and everywhere. But the secret is inside of each of those 9 universal energies. Okay? So right now, the Creator wants you to know and wants you to understand, okay, that the future is not lost. Hope is not lost. In fact, the future, okay, as the world really starts to crumble, okay, that future is done. The future of society is done. The future of civilization, done. What's not done is human existence, truth, purity, joy, freedom, balance, movement, all of those things, illumination, purity. Those are waiting. We just have to create the opportunities to resurrect those energies into existence, into our day-to-day life. That's what we have to do. You don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do everything because maybe your connection is with purity. Maybe that's what you're meant to embody in this life. And all of a sudden you connect with someone else and you're like, oh, they're all about truth. This is brilliant. So you don't have to do it all. And then all of a sudden you meet someone who's all about balance, someone else who's all about movement. Now you've got 4 of you. What are you going to create together? Don't go looking for people, okay? Allow yourself to look inside and start asking questions about who you're meant to be. How do you know who you're meant to be? By noticing where your passions lie, where your annoyances are, where your frustrations are, because where your frustrations and annoyances are, that's the universe saying you're ready to go to the next level. And what you're doing and who you're being doesn't fit to go to a leadership role. Leadership as in becoming that aspect of existence for the current, to bridge this current experience into the future of human existence. You can't take who you're being. You have to go further. You have to do more. How cool is that? It's so simple. It's so simple. Yeah, it's going to take effort and it's going to take heaps of courage. But the reality is, if you're listening and you've listened in this far to this conversation itself, you're ready. You're not only a little bit ready, you're beyond ready. This is actually, it's not even permission. It's like, oh, that's what I've been feeling. Okay, let's go. For the people who are listening to this and having this experience, and that's the reaction that you're having, oh, got it. Okay, good. Let's go. That's why they started this whole conversation with you, encouraging you to feel. Then they explained about purpose and how it's completely misunderstood based on these beings. And then they brought it right back to your truth, the truth of why you exist and what you're meant to be doing right now. That's actually pretty incredible. So you've got 9 months to clearly focus on your own existence, bringing that level up. Allowing yourself, and level up doesn't mean bettering other people. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about aligning yourself with the 9 fundamental energies of existence itself. If you want to learn more about them, I wrote a whole book right here, Believe. Grab a copy. You can start learning about the energies. It will 100% change how you see yourself. And that's what we're doing right now. That's how we're moving forward. That's how we're meant to propel ourselves. Because the future of human existence is 100% based on those 9 fundamental energies. It's not based on society and civilization, because all of that is based on the control and manipulation that came in, those beings that are like bricks. They don't have the capacity to feel. It's why we keep going back and forth going, I don't understand how they can do this. That's how. When you find yourself going, I don't understand how they can do this, that is literally how. It is not your job to walk around and go, which humans are involved now? Which humans can't feel? Don't do that. Your job is to come back to remember the innate divinity of every single human in existence, and that they all have the capacity to feel every single one of those 9 energies. The only reason they're not participating in that is because they've gotten so deeply ensconced in the brainwashing that's occurred to create this civilized world that we live in, this society that we call advanced, which kind of makes me chuckle. We're more than this. And that's why we've been having this internal war. We want truth, but we're looking for it in the wrong places. When you demand truth from your governments, from, people in authority positions, you're not going to get it, because that's not part of their agenda. They do have an agenda. They really do. There's a whole bunch of them. It's not just one, it's millions of them. They could care less about what you think about it, because they're on a track to do whatever it is they want to do. And guess what? A whole bunch of humans have tried to incorporate that path into their day-to-day lives. It is why there is more stress in human existence than there ever has been before. Do you know what stress is? Stress is literally when you obsess, when you spend all of your time, when you consume your time, right? Your time is your energy, really, because time doesn't even exist, but that's a whole, when your energy is consumed with trying to be something and someone you're not, that's where stress comes from, period. When you allow yourself to be who you are, everything flows. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. You could be a mechanic, you could be a content creator, you could be whatever it is you want to be. You could be a lawyer, you can be an author. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're being authentically you. That's what matters. You're here for a reason. And yeah, it's a big reason. Why? Because all of humanity is changing, but it's not on your shoulders. It's not a weight you're carrying. It's understanding and recognizing it's why you exist. It's why you came into this human physical life right now, is to facilitate this transformation. It's why some of your loved ones have died as a result of what other people have done to them. Isn't it time to say that's enough? Parts of your life, how many times have you come up against brick walls where you wanted to do something and it didn't work out because someone told you you couldn't do it? You're not good enough because of this society that we live in. You're not capable enough. The reality is we have to leave that society in the past. And it right now is our current present. Okay? So when your brain goes, but, what's society going to look like? What about prison? What about police? What about rules? What about stop? Because those are the fears that they've continuously ingrained in you that they know you'll never leave. That's why you're not going to leave, because you're so worried. You have so much fear inside of you that you're going to get hurt. You're going to lose all your money. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. Right? How many times have you been in a relationship with someone, a friendship, whatever it is, and they're like, you know, it could be a job. You're nothing if you leave me. You've got nothing. You're not going to make it without me. You can't do that without this. You can't do that without that. And yet it's funny because, you know, you see a lot of people talking about masochists, right? But here's the truth. This whole society that we're living in, that rules that we listen to every single day, that's the epitome of masochism. All of it. We just keep feeding it. Can't get enough of it. While still being annoyed that it's existing, because you're still feeding it. Don't be a victim. Victims say, oh, poor me, you're not going to believe what happened to me, and I'm going to carry this around so long so that I can tell everybody, so everybody knows what I've been through. That's a pity party. It's not compassion. Nope, zero compassion in that. Zero. It's time for us to come back to the place where we can hold truth and see truth and move forward, free of emotional reactions. Because emotional reactions are our feeling, our ability to feel energy, twisted and manipulated into ideas and ideals that conform to a society that has trained us to ensure that we hold this civilization. So when I see civilization, it's literally like a structure energetically, and that's what they do. So our emotions hold it together. It's not held by anything other than our emotions. How crazy is that? When you think that, just feel into the energy of that. This society exists because our emotions give it the energy that it needs to exist. That's crazy. That's what they use to build it. Our emotional reactions. And they just kept building on it and on it and on it. And so it sends signals out. Signals that say, come on over here, look over here, look over here, look over here. And that's why we have to come back to feeling. We have to, that the only way out of this is to feel the essence of your existence. And it is not based on your emotional reactions. It is based on your capacity to feel the energy of existence itself that flows through everything. Okay. We're going to keep going into all of this because, well, I can't stop now. I'm too excited. And I'm really excited about what the creator shared today about where the story of creation is going to be going in the future. But if you need help, and when I say help, you want to feel again, you want to recognize your capacity to feel, then I'm going to encourage you to check out our private community, the Authentic Human Collective. It's really laid back. It's really simple. It's really easy. It's just a group of global humans who just want to remember how to feel. They want to navigate through existence. They want to increase and improve their ability to access truth, to recognize truth when they feel it, and to be able to get it when they're told they can't. They want to ask questions of universal beings, and they want to get answers. It's a beautiful collection. It's a beautiful group of incredibly curious and courageous humans. So if you're interested, and the cool thing about that is they're also the live audience for these recordings. So this recording is being done on March 12th, 2026, and it won't be out in public for another probably 3 weeks. But our community, well, they get it first. But here's the other cool thing is as soon as this recording is done, we're going to have the best conversation inside that community about everything that was just shared in this episode. So if you want to be a part of that because you're ready, come on over and join us. It's at michellevickers.com. Check out the community. And again, try Believe. Pick up a copy of Believe so you can start learning about the 9 fundamental energies. It's changed lives. I wrote it in 2012. So it's been out. It was published in 2013 and it's been out for 13 years. So give it a shot. I thank you for listening and let me know below how you're feeling. Do you feel prepared for the future of human existence, for that role in creating it, right? It's recognizing that is who you are. That's who you are created to be. It's why you exist right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.